Adrenaline in my soul. Something, something, Cody Road.
That's one.
Adrenaline in my soul. Something, something, Cody Rhodes.
That's two.
Adrenaline in my soul. Something, something, Cody Rhodes. Adrenaline in my soul. Something, something, Cody Rhodes. Adrenaline in my soul. Something, something, Cody Rhodes. Adrenaline in my soul. Something, something, Cody Rhodes.
I stopped counting. I hope you were counting.
All right, I lost count here. The joke was we were going to play that 20 times in honor of John Cena's 20th anniversary. But I realized 20 times is just too many times. It's too many times, Tullo. I didn't want to hear it anymore. Did you?
I stopped paying attention after how many
We
times
lost
we did
track
it
of
after
the
5.
time. We lost track of this. This is a terrible bit. That we
Honestly,
thought
incredible bit.
It's not the bit, great bit, but a bit that you and I just don't have the patience for. Okay,
Oof, no,
that's because we got a lot to talk about. Frankly,
20 times was a lot. It was very ambitious of us.
it was ambitious and at the same time lazy. Everybody, welcome to the Comedians of Wrestling podcast. Wrestling is spicy. Wrestling is alive. Wrestling is sexy, baby. We're living in the opposite of lull times, Daddy. Even though last week we said we're in lull times, we're living in up and down times, Daddy. We're living in confusing wrestling times.
We're living in the upside down, Daddy.
Definitively living in a time of wrestling fatigue for many is what I would say.
Mhm.
People are there's a fatigue for wrestling, that's for damn sure. But actually, it's weird. What I've thought about yesterday, I go, I know what's going on. It's kind of like good wrestling fatigue. There's like so much shit that you're like, shit, I gotta watch that. That you're like, oh no, well, it's not about that it's bad. It's fuck, man. There's a lot of good shit. Anyway, also, we're coming off Forbidden Door, which it did exactly what we expected it was going to do. It was going to be a great pay-per-view despite the lead-up. And that's exactly what I would say it was, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think we nailed it.
Patreon.com/Comedians of Wrestling. Support this podcast. Tullo, before we get into talking about Forbidden Door, John Cena's return, I think it's important that we Star Wars in the way.
Obi-Wan. Star Wars in the way.
All right, so this was going to be Obi-Wan in the way, but at the same time, because it was Batman, I just want to take a second. Now we're a little bit removed from the Batman. We can all admit that movie wasn't not even remotely memorable piece of crap. Can we admit this? I mean, now you're a couple months out. Do you care about it? And do you think about it?
I would say like after the month it came out and then it was available on HBO Max, I'll probably watch it like 3 more times, like, and then casually would put it on late at night. But I really don't think about it at all anymore. So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I could argue that I probably think about the Dark Knight more than I do about the Batman.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. I was raised in it. As a matter of fact, I was doing these stupid bits. Me and Christina were just in the driveway. We weren't even really trying to do bits. So I bought I bought a pool for my dogs, like it's a blow-up pool. You saw on my Instagram.
Yeah.
At that Black Attack, check out my Instagram. We bought a blow-up pool for the dogs because, like, my dog Dennis loves water. You know. What are you pointing at? Oh yeah, my handle. He loves water. He's like those dogs are obsessed with water. You know.
Could not figure out the cameras there.
I got him a little pool, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's like it's out there and it's hot, and we're like, yo, let's just get in the fucking dog pool. I mean, this thing is like 4 feet radius. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, so we're just in there, and I threw on the Batman mask, you know, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna do some Batman riffs, like while I'm drinking some White Claws. You know what I mean?
You were claw dogging?
It's claw dogging, living true, you know. I'm saying it's my inflatable pool for inflation. You know what I mean?
I'm sure.
Got to get yourself the support. We can't afford to have a proper summer because of inflation. Get yourself an inflatable pool for inflation.
Yeah, I just bought 2 pool floats for my. I mean, I have a pool here at my apartment complex, but I bought 2 pool floats, and would like to say that great investment.
Now, Tullo, let me ask you something.
Uh-huh.
You live in a complex with a pool.
Mhm.
Is that very social at this pool?
Yes, great
Have you
spot.
met a babe at this pool that you
Yeah,
in any way hung out with in a dating fashion at the pool?
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Wow,
Pool's a
that's
great
great.
spot. Good people go to the pool too here too.
That's
We're
great.
actually having a big party on Saturday at the pool. Cooler party.
Really?
Yeah, it's big
Has
time.
anyone in your complex met at
Mhm.
the pool, got so serious that they moved into a single unit together in the same complex?
I don't think so.
Wait, I just looked. We just lost a couple listeners for this
Oh.
content. I just
Swimming
say like,
pools in the way. Yeah. Oh, here's the thing I can tell you. You know what? If you got a couple $100 lying around, I know that's a tough time during these times, but
yeah.
they do make inflatable hot tubs. They make inflatable
Wait.
hot tubs. I used to own an inflatable hot tub. It's great.
Wait, how much is an inflatable hot
I
dog?
think it's like $400 now.
Wait, it's great.
It's great. Okay, I used to have it. It's great. You blow it
Yo,
up. You put the water in. You put like some chlorine stuff in it every once in a while.
yo, I'm watching Austin Theory right now.
Yeah,
He's wearing the ref shirt, entering.
yeah.
You know, he's like teasing. He's like taunting Bobby Lashley on mute. This guy, he looks great. He's killing it, being very funny. You know,
He was super impressive in his promo tonight, face to
didn't see
face
it.
with John Cena. Very very good. Very
He
good.
went
Very
face to face with John Cena or no?
yeah.
Oh, in the back.
He used all of his catchphrases. It was very Cena esque, man. He used all of his things. It like identified who he was, like what he's all about, and he looked incredible across from Cena. And Cena did not say a single word. I think he even cut him off. Whoa! He even cut him off and was like, "You always get to talk. It's my turn to talk." It's kind of cool. Swift,
Oh,
Taylor
this is
Swift.
Cody. I'm looking at a Cody recovery promo.
Yeah. Also very cool. Raw was actually
Wow, yo, it's crazy. His
he wants Seth to win the Money in the Bank, so Seth can be champion and he can wrestle and he can come back and wrestle Seth.
wow,
Pretty
Cody's
much what
the
he's
black
going
and
at.
blue is all gone. You know, they drained the shit out of that.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, yeah. And then Seth had a promo with Cena, also backstage thing, and Seth looked like crazy man, absolute psychopath. He had like this wild suit on with like a white like fishnetty kind of shirt on underneath, crazy sunglasses, doing the whole thing. I'm just in love with what Seth's doing, like so much. I'm just
Why don't you marry him?
I think I marry myself.
Hey,
I
Macarena.
am Seth Rollins.
I can't find a
Yeah.
second.
All right.
I'll have to believe you. Anyway, so Obi-Wan, the show finished up.
Yes.
There
What
was
do
a
you have
lot
to
of
say?
talk about the finale saving the show, and I would like to
boy.
say that I am not in that camp at all.
Well, of course you're not.
These 6 episodes were an atrocity.
Oh
Uh,
my.
They were so bad. I don't consider that at all part of canon. As far as I'm concerned, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader did not see each other from episode 3 to episode 4. Episode 4 is when they saw each other again. And he said, "But I left you, I was but a learner. Now I am the master." And that was what happened. Because I'm open to expanding it. We want to have fun. I'm open to it. This was too over the top. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. Now, was it cool? Spoiler alert. Was it cool to see like the mask thing and saying, "Oh, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I killed Anakin Skywalker." Was that cool? Yeah, that writing was good. But this scene didn't happen. It doesn't make sense within the context of the show. And that battle they had, it
But I
felt
don't understand
forced.
how it doesn't make context with the
Why is
make sense with
Obi-Wan able to outfight Anakin at that point? I mean, he's already Darth Vader now. He came back in 6 episodes. He's back at full strength. It was so rushed. It was such a sloppily written, impatient story. It was. I really did not like. I
Because you
did
don't
not
have
like.
any fucking patience. You wouldn't have waited. What do you mean patient? You're out of your mind, dude. You would have never waited to have 6 slow episodes in a row to
Wait.
draw
How
it out like a
dare you?
Game of Thrones. This isn't Game of
How
Thrones.
dare
This is outer
you?
space. Okay,
How dare
they
you?
can
I am
get
very
from place to
patient.
place like that. In Game of Thrones, you have to travel fucking countries. That's why the end of Game of Thrones sucked, is because we lived in this realm for so long where it took a full season to get across, and Jon Snow gets from fucking the north to the fucking Targaryens old fucking camp in like
I
a
mean,
half an episode. Okay, so don't give me patience. Okay,
Tullo's description of Game of Thrones there was just absolutely priceless. He was saying countries. He,
don't give me fucking
he
patience, bro.
did
You
fucking
have none.
He called.
I
What'd you say? The Targaryen zone.
the Targaryens,
I
Targaryen
mean,
land.
you were grasping for specifics. I mean, by the way, I applaud you. I could barely like I don't know Winterfell. I don't know where that was. Like Game of Thrones went in and out. Once it was over, I was done with it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's more Game of Thrones coming out, right? Like
Yeah,
they
which
got like
I'm
the
not.
Power of the Dragon coming out or something.
Yeah,
Right?
it's like it's the prequel, so I'm actually really pumped for it. I think it's gonna rule. I think it's gonna be
The ending of Game of Thrones was really bizarre. There was a
well.
lot of complaints though about the like last 2 or 3 seasons, and I thought the last 2 seasons, the last like, I really liked the seasons at the end. I was like, what a cool. Actually, to their point here, Tullo.
This is the comedians of Game of Thrones,
What
by the way.
is the comedians of Game of Thrones, of course, obviously.
Kogot.
These are the comedians of HBO Max. But here's the thing, I
kinda-
Tullo.
Yeah.
I would say this.
Say this, man.
Is there any podcasts out there that are dedicated to be like, we only watch this one streaming
Like one of the
service?
best pay-per-views in recent memory just happened. You're gonna hold. Let's save those thoughts. Let's talk about why I think the
All right.
prequel of Game of Thrones is gonna rule. Okay,
Here's the deal. Wait, I wanted to finish my thought.
go ahead.
My thought was a lot of people complained about the end of Game of Thrones. Now, those last like 6 episodes, right at the end there, those were bad. Those were not good. They were really rushed. They weren't good. And yeah, it was. We can go into the details of that. But what I thought was really cool, and this is to my point about Obi-Wan, is that I thought that the last like 2 or 3 seasons they weren't using the books. So yes, they felt different, and yes, they were like a little bit more action-packed, and a little bit more of like an action movie.
Mhm.
But I thought it was so earned that I thought it was dope. It was like I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
I like that this is just kind of like this whole thing is fucking is blowing up, man. It's taking off,
Yeah.
right? It got set off. It was like we watched like 4 seasons of.
It was.
Of,
I will say
did
it's.
I
It
ever
was like
tell you though?
It was like
George
the
R. R.
last.
Martin. We watched. What were we saying?
What was like the last show I remember like getting together with friends and watching. Like
Yeah, but so
friends would
George
come
R. R.
over.
Martin, he wrote his thing, and it was more talky, it was more manipulative, it was more political, but it wasn't a TV show; it was a book. And so
Yeah.
I was like, at the end there, they made it really become a fucking epic TV show with an epic conclusion. But then they really botched the very, 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 very end.
Yeah.
Like you to watch like that many seasons of the White Walkers, and then at the end it's just like like Arya just kind of like luckily kills him. You know what I mean? And you're like, wait, what? Oh, that was the whole arc of the White Walkers. Remember that? And it was really cool, but it was like, and I liked it, but I was like, Shebs gave me a whole argument for it. I was like, is it, Anyway, okay.
Stuff with Bran got kind of lame too.
Yeah, the Bran stuff, and then they're like, all right, Bran, none of it went anywhere. But anyway, you see, the thing is this. What were we saying? Oh, from Indoor. You want to talk about the prequels be good? Then I'll go to.
Yeah,
I was
well,
going from Indoor, but I want you to get your thought out. Why do you
I-
think this is gonna be good?
I truly think it's going to be good because there's a foundation in place of like that story already, right? Like, so it's going to be based off a lot of history and stuff that has already happened. So it's like, it's going to go back to like the grassroots of Game of Thrones, which was Game of Thrones is
That's
in the
not on purpose.
way.
I gotta tell you, I'm a little worried about my air conditioning being broken because boy, oh boy, I don't know what's happening here, but
It's
it is
getting
too
hot
dry.
in here, so take off all your clothes. I mean, we are talking about Targaryens, fire-breathing dragons, Well, yeah, I think it's gonna rule. I think that's gonna rule. I will say they're coming out with like a Jon Snow show also. That thing's gonna suck. But
No. And Jon Snow, I don't even care. They did work to establish that he comes back to life, but I rarely like a comeback to life thing, especially a comeback to life where you don't. He wasn't. He came back and was just still a good guy. Now
what
you
about
remember like
when?
when the mountain or whatever came back to life, it was like he was like rotting and evil. Remember? You know? You're like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. There's like a price to pay for the necromancy.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
okay, fair.
But Jon Snow came back to life and was just like, oh, he's good. And you're like, well, then why did he die? Why did he need to even die? It was just nothing. It didn't. He wasn't different at all, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Anyway, folks, Forbidden Door, a pay-per-view that many are saying was a good time. I watched Forbidden Door with my friends. I had a great time. And people are saying that it was epic. I say this pay-per-view was like what we talked about exactly. Like I said earlier.
Mhm.
It was a great show. The crowd, I'll say this. Chicago gets all the good wrestling shows, and Chicago earns all the good wrestling shows. If I'm Tony
Love that.
Khan and you're like, I'm going to put on a great show, like I want to put on this epic show, I'm going to put all this effort in, and I want a crowd that's going to enjoy it, why not go to Chicago? They'll deliver every fucking time for you. You know what I'm saying?
Very smartly promoted the New York show during this show, by the way. Very smart because that's another show that was super epic. You were at that
Oh
show.
yeah, they're going back to Arthur Ashe on
Yeah.
September
I
21,
will
right?
forever remember the pop that Kenny and Brian Danielson got when that bell rung and everybody stood up and went fucking nuts.
Yeah,
I will
that was that.
forever.
I still say that was the best wrestling match experience I've ever had. Like, say it's the best match ever. I don't know, but I mean, it could arguably be
Would-
up there. But
Did
it was
that
the
go
best
60 or
experience I
30?
had.
That
No,
went 30.
that was the 30.
That was,
Hangman. Daniel
give it
Bryan
up
went
for the
60. But
hangman.
that was a weird thing because the justification for that I learned after was that wasn't a title match, which
Yeah.
I don't think anybody knew that.
Yeah.
We all thought that was for the title.
No, oh no. I remember the whole thing leading up to it was that like you don't have to put your title on the line, but like I'll just wrestle you. Like that was the whole thing.
I didn't even remember that being said. But it's 30 minutes it was 30. But when we were talking about the pocket, no one remembered. But anyway,
Yeah.
okay, that was sick. But this Forbidden Door show, was it? It turned out to be a fun exhibition kind of a thing, right?
Mhm.
And a little bit of a get your shit in fest. You know what I mean? And like, hey, use this crowd to push your career. We didn't see any really cool title changes. Well, I guess
Uh,
FTR, right?
Yeah, that's pretty
They
massive.
won they won the New Japan titles.
Mhm.
I mean, so I think that was the one. But we set the main two titles stayed in their place. And meaning on AEW TV, the AEW title on AEW TV, and the Japanese title on Japanese TV. But that all being said, this crowd was hot the whole time, and these matches were pretty sick. I think the only match that kind of lulled for us was the Thunder Rosa match. I mean, right?
Uh, it kind of ended kind of quickly too. Like I feel like they still needed another build in that match. And it was also the only women's match on the card, so it was like a lot of focus in a kind of tough spot too, right in the middle there. So yeah, I mean, other
This
than
is the only match where I don't have anything to really say about it. You know what I mean? Like
no,
every
yeah, I
other
mean,
match, so these are the matches that I think match of the night stole the show was Orange Cassidy Osprey. I thought
100%, I agree.
that match was near. I don't know. I don't look at star rankings ever, but probably was a 5-star match. No.
Like I would have to assume. I mean, in my book, it was. I thought it was just highly entertaining, incredible.
Will Osprey, highest level performer.
What did
He
I
came
text
out
you?
there,
Like blank check,
blank
right?
check.
Yeah, give that guy a
He,
blank check.
yeah, I mean, I think WWE's tried to get him a couple times, and he's not really interested in it. But he'll probably come over. The money will be good enough. But boy, oh boy, is he fucking fantastic. I mean,
Oof, man, what a talent!
The dude can go. He's amazing. He's one of my guys. Will Ospreay. I made Will Ospreay one of my guys a long time ago. I've said to you how dope he is. I'm a huge fan of the guy, and he'll fit. He would fit in perfect. There's two guys. This was the big discussion there. It was like I was watching with Dipperstein, Skyler, Danny Jollis, Scott Radner, Wrestling for Sale,
Wow.
bunch of the guys. You know,
That's
the
a
guys.
solid wrestling opinionated crew.
Yes, I was watching with the guys, and
Guys night.
the consensus in the room was that Ospreay and Jay White are guys who could easily go to WWE and be the champions. You know,
Sure.
how do you feel about that? No,
Yes. Yes.
those are guys who
but,
have the
like,
ability to go to WWE and be the WWE champion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also looking at like their current roster and seeing guys like AJ Styles and Finn Balor already there. Like and plus they are both foreign heel kind of guys.
Yeah.
And look at the foreign heels in WWE right now. You know, I mean, Walter's
Well, you're
doing a
saying
great
they
job.
might not get the booking. We're just talking about do they have the ability to do it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, but I don't know how that even exists in this
Yeah.
current day WWE.
Well, I think what you're saying. Tell me if you think I'm right. You're kind of saying that it's kind of a pointless thing to talk about.
yeah, I
Because
mean,
it's like
we would
WWE
never
is
know.
so far gone at this point. You know.
Yeah, I
I mean-
mean, like it's a lot different than saying like Kenny Omega, you know, Cody
Yeah.
Rhodes. Now we have the example of Cody Rhodes. So now you have to look at how would a guy like that come over and do what Cody's doing. And really the number one person I think of is Kenny. I mean, Chris Jericho can go over there easily and absolutely. I honestly think Jericho would kill in WWE right now. He would fucking kill right now. If
He's a
got
wizard. He's a wizard.
yeah,
you know,
he's
folks.
gonna-
He's a wizard.
Red Shoes' son is amazing, huh? That guy can go. I don't know what his name is. I feel bad.
Oh, who is he? Is that Clark Connors?
No, Red Shoes' son.
Which guy was Red Shoe's son?
In the
Phantasmo?
he was with no, because
In the Sting match?
No. It was the other triples match with was he with Eddie? Was it Eddie? Yuta, and
Red Shoes. Why? I wasn't even thinking Red Shoes. Sorry. I was thinking of the bald white ref guy. No, Red
Bryce
Shoes.
Remberg?
Yeah, it was no, the other one, the guy, the PWG guy. No,
Oh,
yeah, Red Shoe's son is Shota Umino.
And Moxley calls him Shooter. Love
Yeah. I mean, all the Japanese wrestlers that I didn't know, like they were all.
it. Shibata came out. I mean,
Shibata's, what is that punt kick? It is so sick. The
it's
only
so
thing I've
sick.
ever known about Shibata is
That
that he
thing.
like dropped dead backstage at one point. Like I knew he had one of because he in like 2017 had like a hemorrhage in his brain. He had like internal bleeding after a match and just like
That's insane.
collapsed. And then they were like, he'll never wrestle again. And then
Yeah.
now he's wrestling again. So
Dude,
that's sick.
And he's like the leader of the dojo too, right? And like, I don't know. I just love, dude. That kick is so stiff, man. You know you're eating that thing. You're eating Shibata kick like a hundy, like to the fucking face.
He did
for
fucking
sure.
Shibata bread. But here's the
Shibata
deal.
bread. Orange Cassidy. Not enough love for Orange Cassidy also in that match and in the Shibata post stuff too. We need to give kudos to a man that is so good.
Yeah,
I mean-
Orange Cassidy is super over. He's not one of my guys, but he's very talented, you know. And he delivers like what those Pac matches with the Jericho matches. You could put him in these big matches. He delivers. He eats pins most of the time, but he delivers, you know. And him versus Ospreay was a fucking blast, you know.
Blast. Killed.
That was a blast. Another match, the Young Bucks Sting match. That match was fucking great time. I
Sting
thought
is
that
the
was
best.
just great fun. Exactly. Sting at 63 is like my favorite Sting. He's just like having a fucking blast, just jumping off things,
Yo,
living the
dude,
fucking gimmick, you know? Great
What's
time.
his name? What's his name? The guy that wasn't in the match, like ran up there like to make sure that he was gonna catch Sting. He was taking he was not letting Sting miss that jump at all.
No, that Sting has been fucking
Back
just
in the
doing-
trench coat, you know?
Yeah, Sting is having a blast. That was great. The Young Bucks, I missed Young Bucks in the black pants. You know.
Oh, this was
you know.
so. Someone made a note I just saw recently that this is like an ode to the Hung Bucks when they were with Adam Page.
Yeah.
And that was like the gear they used to wear. It was those vests and the Bullet
I remember
Club.
all that gear.
I said it in the text. I said, "This is my favorite version of the Young Bucks. Bearded Bucks in the Bullet Club gear with the tassels and the bandanas are
They're
the
great.
best Bucks. The
I
best Bucks.
love thinking about the Bucks being like, "Yo, what should we wear?" I love that they got like, "What gear?" I love that they gotta call each other. Be like, Yo,
There was
what are you
something that
wearing, bro?
they said that also that like
They got so much gear in the closet. You know.
it wasn't on TV, but like either Nick or Matt Jackson had to be held back to go to check because they wanted to go check on Hangman for something, and someone was like, I guess in the Bobby Fish or Kyle O'Reilly was like holding them back, like not allowing them to go see Hangman. So
Why?
I think I don't know, but let me tell you something. Hangman was to team up with the Bucks, I'd be cool with that. Like completely
Yeah.
fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Hangman's in an interesting zone, right? He's
Best
due for a
Bucks.
restart.
The best
The-
Bucks.
They were selling those shirts again. If you
Yeah.
saw. What was I say? The shit. Oh, Cesaro, obviously wrestled Zack Sabre Jr. Um,
Okay. How do
Yeah.
you say Claudio's last name without looking at it right now?
Oh, it's Claudio Castagnolo. Castigliano.
I'm gonna
Claudio-
go. I'm gonna go. Claudio Castagnoli.
Claudio Castagnoli. It's Claudio Castagnola.
No
I don't
La or
know.
no Lee? No
I don't know.
Lee.
Let me look it up.
I think the announcers were messing it up too because I felt like I heard three different versions of it the entire night. He's got to just go by Claudio
Shit.
Castagnoli, right?
It's Castagnoli.
Castagnoli.
I don't know. I'm going to say this. His gear sucked, I thought.
They didn't like
I,
the long boys.
I did not like pants on a guy who. Cesaro looks great in he
Undies.
pulls off like no elbows and knee. I love his just like when he's got no elbows, knee pads. Did he get hurt during that match?
I don't think so.
Seemed like his elbow was all messed up, and at the end of the match, he was a little bit like, "Yeah, I'm rusty." He kind of had like he did a thing where he was like, "I
Really?
could have done better."
No, but the elbow was like part of the work. Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
was working it.
Yeah. I couldn't tell though because the only reason I thought
you gotta
that is
work.
because the only reason I thought that is because he did a little bit of like he did a little thing where he was like at the end of the match.
I mean, what a pop!
Yeah, he's
I mean,
over.
I would say the
Tony
order
Khan's
of,
hugging him.
I would say the order of most
Pop.
over people that night were. I want to say almost like Okada, Claudio, and FTR. I mean, I got worked so hard by the Dax injury too.
Yeah. Do you think there was any truth to that injury?
I don't know. I mean, he tweeted something about it being a separated shoulder, but I mean, no way he's wrestling with separated.
FDR is on such a high level right now. I mean,
Dude, they're so in the crowd is so in love with them, man. It's so cool. They are just I mean, Dax is shining. I mean, what a run this guy's having. He's going to be like top 10 wrestler this year easily, undeniably. I mean, between his singles matches and this tag run that they're on, they're holding 3 tag titles right now. I mean, all the kudos to those guys. I mean, what an entertaining. That match fucking ruled too. Jeff Cobb is a fucking beast.
Yeah, Jeff Cobb is a beast. It's interesting. I was at Jay White's first PWG match. I was at Jeff Cobb's first PWG match.
Wow.
Some other guys too. But it's funny. It's interesting. These guys, they I see them and they're like, when you wrestle the first time in PWG in LA, like the crowd will be like, have them back, like after your match.
Yeah.
So you're trying to win the crowd, so
Or
the
please
crowd
come
will be
back.
like, please come back. Sorry. And so I knew it didn't sound right. I said, this is thought struck. This is thought struck. That's what they say, right?
Bow, 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 bow.
Yeah. So then I watched that Jay White and Jeff Cobb. They like overwhelmingly like dazzled the crowd. But I thought Jay White at that time was such a jabroni, and he actually was, to be honest. He had like no gimmick and was just called Jay White. You know, he wasn't in the shape he's in now. You know, and then when he became the Switchblade and the way what he is now, he's one of my guys. He's
Man,
great.
red pants is so dope on him. That was a great.
Yeah, the
gear choice.
pants look great. There's something like simple about what Jay White does that he's great. That match was a great time. Also, the Fatal 4-Way. I just
Sick.
have to point out the thing, which is that like, boy oh boy, is Hangman's moveset so good.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hangman is such a good, entertaining television wrestler. Like, I'm not even talking about like technical or whatever. To be honest, it looks a little bit like sometimes he hits a little too hard. You know what I mean? He like lays into motherfuckers sometimes.
Yeah, because he's
So
New
I don't know.
Japan, bro.
Yeah, I don't know technically this or that. All I know is that buckshot lariat is such an exciting setup for sequences, you know. And then when he goes into the dead eyes, I mean, dead eyes is always like so exciting.
Yeah.
Like, the buckshot lariat. It feels like such a great way to finish guys. I can't
Fall away
believe
slam.
no other wrestler thought of it.
The top rope moonsault to the outside.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy does
Yeah, he flies. You're right. He flies too. It's nuts.
flies. He's all over the place. Beats the shit out of you. His lariat's just his
Truly
straight
won me over in such a high level.
I mean, the guy's got it all, 100%. I mean, he's
He
just
can
so
do it all.
great.
He's a true
I mean,
like just top wrestler. I want to see him wrestle as fucking Seth Rollins so bad.
Oh, that would be dope. Yeah, we need Seth like over here ASAP. Like,
Yeah,
we need to start seeing Seth a little bit outside his WWE fucking.
Hangman as good as he gets for me, like in terms of wrestling. Like
I mean,
he's one of those guys who just like he just constantly puts on bangers. It's a great fucking time.
he's so good. The crowd loves him. He's drinking beers on the ramp. Like, I mean, he's just nailing it. He's so over. Like, everybody loves him. He always says the right things. He's just a person that you love, not only in the ring but outside the ring, which is hard to do either way. And yeah, and kudos to Okada too, man. And it was dope to see him really soaking in the American crowd. And
yeah, Okada was delivering and having fun, and the crowd loved him.
I have an Austin theory that Tony slid him a real nice fat check to make sure that he was there for this, because there was talks about him with NJPW, like Okada and NJPW having a little riff-raff, and I think Tony just came over the top and was like, we need this fucking guy here. Our fucking card is ravaged with injuries. Like, we need Okada here. What's it gonna take?
That's why he showed up. You think that's why it probably was a triple threat the whole time, and then Okada was just probably Tony's just like called Okada and was like, "How much more do you want?"
Yeah, what do you want?
Because what are you talking about? Like, it's probably no $2 million, too low. He probably said, "I'll give you $20,000 more." You know what I mean?
20,000.
We're talking about one match, single match.
You know how much Brock Lesnar makes for one fucking match on a pay-per-view, bro?
Too low. AEW guys are not getting paid like Brock Lesnar money.
To save a pay-per-view, Tony Khan is writing fucking Okada $1 million check to make sure he fucking shows up.
No
bro.
way, dude.
It's a one-off, dude, and then it's gonna be the same way. That's gonna be the same kind of deal he's gonna get, bro. Because I'm telling you right now,
I bet he gave him. If that happened, he gave him like $40,000.
Get the fuck out of here.
You know, it's one match, man.
$40,000.
Let's fire off in the Discord.
How
much money do you think Okada made for his match total, counting if Tony Khan slipped him more, whatever? That's irrelevant. What do you think he made total to wrestle on Sunday?
$40,000?
Yeah, he made $40,000.
I mean, no fucking way, dude. I mean, unless
that's a shit ton of money for 15 minutes.
Here's my point: is he might have made $40,000 because that's what his NJPW contract.
Right. You're saying Tony gave him $1 million on top of that?
I'm saying Tony came over the top and was like, "We need this guy here. What is it gonna take?" And he's like, "I don't care. It's not gonna. No amount of money matters to me, Mr. Khan." And he goes, "How about $1 million?" And he goes, "I'll be there." I mean, this is how it goes down sometimes. I mean, literally, Okada was massive. He was the biggest attraction there, dude. He got insane pops. He was soaking it up. I guarantee we are going to see a lot more of Okada. And I will say this. I think the next Forbidden Door should be in Tokyo. And I will say this. I think that Forbidden Door should stay wide open now. And the idea of FTR having the titles and going over to NJPW and going over to Japan is
Well, here's the
very
thing.
sexy.
Forbidden Door is likely going to be an annual thing, right?
It has to be.
It's just odd because new AEW, the way they have their shit laid out, it's Double or Nothing, Forbidden Door, and All Out are kind of in a row, right? And they're all like in the summer. It's like the beginning,
Yeah, I
middle,
think.
and end
Well,
of
I
summer.
think
They
they're
got to
gonna
switch that up a little bit, right?
Yeah, they'll space it out.
Yeah. But Forbidden Door being what a great staple for the pro wrestling verse, you know?
I mean, massive success. If
I got to say something on the pod before I forget, Tullo.
And this just scratched the surface of this relationship. Like, there is so much potential for this now going forward. Like, and when wrestlers are healthy, I mean, wow, we're very fortunate that this went down. And I will say real quick that John Moxley just started reading his book, by the way.
Gian. His name's Gian.
Gian.
His name is
Was
Gian.
the vital part in making this happen. He was like the consigliere or middleman.
He
so
was
to
the
say.
fighter.
He was the fighter. But he was the man that like brought this
Oops.
together and like brokered the deal pretty much, like between NJ and he deserved that fucking main event.
Well, I
And-
love that for him.
All right, go ahead. You said you had to say something on the pod.
Well, I wanted to say something before I forget because I actually got to go kind of soon
Okay.
for this episode, but we'll make it up to you folks.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel a little bad for Adam Cole, who I don't like at all. I really don't like him, but I feel like he's getting humbled, you know? He's getting humbled a little bit. He was there. He ate that pin, you know, and it felt like he was there to eat that pin. You know what I mean?
Dude, I honestly think
He's lost his
we're in a
touch.
unique situation with
Yeah.
how you feel about Adam Cole. Is I think you over the top, like
Shit on him.
like shit on him, but not even that, but like you hate on him because that's how he's supposed to make you like you feel. You know, like look at this puny piece of shit, always talking shit. Never looks great, but yeah, he gets in the ring and he wrestles these matches, and now he's getting shit on. Like you see it, and you feel it makes you feel good, right? You feel good about it, right? You're happy
Yeah.
to see it. So like you're kind of on in how like I like him because I think he's just a great professional wrestler, but I obviously see why people hate him. But I think that's part of the beauty of Adam Cole is that the people that like really hate him, like yourself, like hate him for the things that he makes you want to hate him about.
Yeah.
But there's no denying his talent, though. Guy,
No,
fucking rip.
I mean, he's very talented. He's very talented. I think I have a lot of problems with the character and the booking and the writing for
It's
him.
fine, but he did
Booking
not.
for him, actually, I don't have a problem with. He's getting booked to lose because they have no choice because he's put himself in this spot where you know once he gets the title, it's just going to be lull times, Daddy. The character is too thin, and he's not putting on. He doesn't look strong enough to carry the strap,
Character is too thin. I like how you put that. That's interesting.
literally and figuratively. Now, if he's rolling with these other guys and he's way more chicken shit, you know what I mean? And the character is kind of funny or, you know what I mean? Or over the top or something more, that's fine. But as it stands, he's going to, you know, these other guys are just better. Now,
And that's
John
fine.
Moxley is, I just want to say, something pointed out by Skylar Aston, Pitch Mr. Perfect Skylar Aston, who we love Skylar Aston Fix. He is Cesaro should have came out with Regal. Regal should have came out and shook Cesaro's hand and invited him. And Moxley should come out solo. Like, no, even if Moxley's in a fucking stable, he feels like a guy who
he's a
enters
champion.
alone.
He does. He always does. Moxley always enters alone.
He came out with William Regal, though.
because there's a championship match. You have your manager in your corner, right? I mean,
I
that's the
know,
norm.
but Regal should come out and introduce
No.
Cesaro, right?
No, because it's a debut. So like,
But he's introducing him into the Blackpool Combat Club.
yeah, but it wasn't it wasn't all like really official yet. But like they made it.
He was
official.
wearing Blackpool Combat shirt when he walked down the ring.
I get it, but Regal's supposed to be out there walking out Moxley to his championship match, and the fact that they came through the crowd, both of them, instead of through the ramp, is fucking dope as fuck. Okay.
Well, regardless,
Yeah,
Moxley
should he have
in
brought
pro
out
wrestling
Cesaro too? Sure. Yeah.
Moxley entering in pro wrestling is just, in the words of Dipperstein, mage. I mean,
Mage.
his entrance is, it's earned. It's the character. It's I take back ever talking shit about Wild Thing. I love it.
Good.
I love it. I had to get
Appreciate
used
that.
to it, and now I really look forward to it. You know, I like the expression on his face. I like his vibe. I like that he's.
How has he not murdered somebody with that water bottle that he launches into the crowd? Like, I'm waiting for
I
someone.
I have no idea. I don't know how he hasn't murdered himself by the amount of blood he loses in these matches.
That was my favorite part of the match, Dan, was he gets a sling blade from Tanahashi and rolls out of the ring, and all of a sudden he's bleeding, and the announcers are like, wait a second. Like, how did Moxley get cut open? Like, wait, let's think of it. He took a sling blade. Maybe they accidentally butted heads or something. Like, there was no reason for him to be bleeding at that point. Zero.
This is just AEW stuff that I just let go, but I totally agree. Same as it's why we didn't even talk about the finish of the Fatal 4-Way, because it's like sometimes AEW fucks up. They're doing their best. You know what I mean?
Well, I thought they actually did a kind of swift way to cover.
I kind of liked how JR was like, he's like, well, it was a quick finish. It's like, and he's kind of just being like, these are fights, man. Like, you know? They don't need to. I kind of dug like them just being like.
No, I thought they did a good job of kind of saving it.
I really wanted Tanahashi. Wait, before I say that, yeah, I agree. They just cut to Mox and he was just bleeding, and it was like, what? He was like, what? The only justification is that he bladed. But Tanahashi, I really wanted to win the title. The crowd.
Well, you weren't alone.
It.
Yeah, you weren't alone either, because they were starting to boo when Mox was like gonna win. You know.
Yeah.
When Mox had him in that fucking choke.
Hated the fucking ending though. Everybody running out and like setting up for Dynamite.
Oh, for blood and guts. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like he won the title. You know, like he won the title. Don't treat it like a Raw ending. You know. That was not good. That's like Tony Khan being insecure, like, oh, I gotta set up Dynamite.
Get me started on that scaled down fucking stage. I'm so sick of these fucking tunnels. I'm so done with the tunnels. I need, like, the fact that they rolled that out there for they didn't even give us something different for, especially with an NJPW that looked like a Dynamite again. And the LED screen was much different and smaller too. It was weird. They had the film down, the chandelier thing wasn't even there. So I appreciate the LED stage, great effort there. It definitely enhanced a lot of the things, but man, oh man, come on, Tony.
Wow. By the way, Seth Rollins posted John Cena 3 minutes ago. He posted this picture, and it says "Welcome back."
He said that. Yeah, he
says
said
"Welcome back, John. Happy 20th." And it's you can't see knee. Remember when you can't see knee because Seth Rollins kneed him in the face. That's when everyone said Seth was so unsafe to work with. Remember?
Yeah. He mentioned that in the promo with him backstage.
Oh, really?
He's like, yeah.
Seth and John talked?
Yeah. It was mostly Seth. Yeah.
So we're going to see a Cena Austin Theory match at SummerSlam?
I don't know. He said he doesn't know when he's going to be wrestling. So
I kind of think he might not be wrestling at SummerSlam.
I don't know.
Anyway. The pay-per-view is a great, great time. Excited to see Cesaro. I loved Pac winning that title. Not that because I don't like that title, but you're like, oh, with Pac having it, I see the level of the title.
Mm-hmm.
Like Malachi or Miro winning it, I really did not want, because I think those guys are both just too high level for this title. This title, and not that Pac is a high level guy, but there's matchups you could see for him at that Pac level,
and he could take that title other places. Yeah, he can go places with that title too if he wants.
Yeah, you kind of see it's like, give me like an Ethan Page match or, shit like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Jungle Boy. There's guys who could be in the mix there, I think, for that
Mhm.
title that would be a really good fit. So I think Pac winning that was cool. That match was good. Clark Connors is jacked up. That guy was jacked up. He was
Hey,
fun.
he held his own, man. I was happy
Yeah,
about it.
all the New Japan guys that I didn't really know held their own. Phantasmo, I thought, was a fucking blast.
Blast.
That dude has shtick galore. I mean, he had great shtick. I love he's like Superman punching
Yeah.
shit was fucking great. I loved he did like a whole flippy do segment into a back rake. That was a
Yeah.
fucking blast. You know,
Mhm.
I love that. I mean, he was really fun. Pay per view was just a really, 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 really great time to watch. My only thought is like Will Ospreay. I mean, I hope I get to see him on a more American TV.
Well, honestly, let's hope that this pay-per-view opened up that door, and
The Forbidden One.
the forbidden one, and it like further extends this relationship because I think both sides can look at this as a massive success. And this pay-per-view, if they want to do, I mean, I'm just thinking about Tokyo Dome. That's what's on my mind right now. I'm like, January. Oh shit, man, they can really do some fun shit. Bryan Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr. at Tokyo Dome.
Yeah.
Just fucking do it, man. Have that agreement. Like, let these guys wrestle these matches. Kudos to ZSJ for taking that fucking L too to Claudia.
That was I thought about that for a little bit. I was like, that's an interesting loss. Like he had kind of when you really think about it, you're like, he doesn't really have a choice there. He's got to lose. It's like this is Cesaro's
Yeah.
debut. You know what I mean? So he's got to do it. But that has to be a one that if I'm him, I go like, shit, I really don't want to take that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a great one for him to take. He's rarely on American TV, and he's kind of like an interesting, specific talent. So just to get kind of beat up by Cesaro is I don't know. It's not the best look for him really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially because we don't the match was supposed to be against Daniel Bryan, and then if he goes into that Daniel Bryan match, he already lost to Cesaro. You know?
Yeah.
No, I'm not crazy about that if I'm him. You know?
I
I
think.
might be a little bitch about that if I was him. You know?
Yeah. Well, it would fit to his character, so.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, honestly, he'll spin it into making a match versus Daniel Bryan, like at the Tokyo Dome. I'm sure we're gonna see it,
Yeah.
which would be insane.
I'm kind of just excited for AEW, kind of like what's going to happen next with AEW. Like, I think that this pay per view was a nice reset for the company, and they introduced this new title. We'll see where that goes. But I'm interested to see what they do with, you have Moxley with the title. That's going to be interesting. And it's like he'll wrestle CM Punk at some point, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what that is. And,
Yeah, like who's
I'm
next for Mox? I guess maybe Jericho, but I mean, I hope that's not the case.
I don't know. You think they go Mox Jericho?
I don't think so. I hope it ends at blood and guts. I mean, these groups have been doing this for a long time. So
I think this is just gonna blow it off. I don't think so, but I think, Mox is the champion. Mox is great. He's in great shape. For him, there's still a lot of shit you could do with Mox. I mean, so who did we have a Hangman Moxley feud?
I'm gonna
Am
I'm
I
gonna
just
men-
blanking on that?
I think we go through this every time. I'm gonna mention a name. Okay,
I see that. Hangman Moxley.
there's a
feud.
guy lingering around right now, but man, oh man, if Bray Wyatt shows up, ooh, daddy,
I think Bray's
Oh.
gonna show up at WWE.
no way he goes back to WWE.
I don't know. We'll see what happens with Bray. I mean, Bray's great. He's saying soon, but yeah, you're right. So Bray Moxley feud.
I'm just saying.
I think the move here is you go right into a Moxley Malachi thing, and
Oh,
you
I
have
would-
and you have Malachi. By the way, we haven't even mentioned that Malachi spit in Miro's face.
Oh yeah,
He misted Miro.
yeah,
You know, so that's pretty fucking interesting. You know,
That
and
is.
right, and so a misted Miro, that's pretty fucking cool, and it's kind of like
Especially
just
it's all connected to God and stuff, and like
right. So that's pretty fucking cool. So a Miro Moxley feud could be pretty fucking cool.
I mean, they
I
got a
think
ton
it's
of.
time. Malachi, Moxley, even if they don't want to put the title on Malachi, you could have a pretty great feud, like akin to what he was doing with Cody when he first came in, where it's like he's pushing him towards like drinking again and going
Mm.
dark and shit. You know what I mean? Like there's shit to do there, you know?
I'm 100%. I honestly think that would be the best direction. I think we talked about it with Hangman too, that if he was to win that match against Punk, that the direction should be someone like Alistair. So now it's with Moxley, and it's a perfect little in betweener.
Give it up for the Hangman.
Give it up for the Hangman.
This pay-per-view got me pumped about AEW again, which is crazy because I was feeling a little lull about AEW, but now I'm pretty fucking pumped about it.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm excited for
Dynamite.
Wednesday. I'm excited for.
I'm
War
excited for
Games.
Wednesday. And WB crazy, I am just fully out on right now in my head. Like
You're so flippy floppy right now.
I've been all over the place about what I'm into, but this pay-per-view got me back into AEW.
Well, you got.
You know what I think I got to tell you? You know what's important? It's important to watch wrestling with people, you know?
Yeah,
It's
it's also
fu-
important to know that Money in the Bank is on Sunday as well.
Yeah, but fuck, man. Like, I don't know. I don't give a shit about Money in the Bank right now.
Wow.
I don't. I don't really. You do really? It seems to be that it's 100%
don't.
going to be Seth, right? I mean, it's like this whole
Becky
thing's so
just got
telegraphed.
into. I would love if it was Seth and Becky. I mean, they made two people that make the most sense to hold a briefcase. It's both of them.
Yeah, that could be cool. Though. Like Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank. That's a pretty cool idea.
They should be working together. I mean, they're doing pretty much the same thing now. So
Yeah. All right, anyway, I got to run, guys.
All right,
but
man.
Everybody, we'll record a bonus app after Dynamite. Excited to see where they go here. I want to see Miro like the Mountain Miro. You know what I mean? Like he comes back with put some fucking
Listen,
contacts in. He's got those
if you
red eyes.
way to pull it all together, man. Way to fucking pull
Mountain
it all
Miro,
together,
baby.
dude. Way to fucking just really show why we are the comedians of podcasts, man. Because that's what we do. We take the wrestling, we take the other shit, and we bring them together to show you why this is what we do.
Everybody, that's it. All right, I got to run. Everybody, welcome to the Comedians Podcast with bonus episode coming at you. Patreon.com/Comedians of Wrestling. And everybody, hey, keep watching wrestling. Kisses.
Hey, eat my ass.
Cheers up.
Bye.
Eat my ass.
Eat my ass.